Hello, I'm Annalise Jones with Lucia Learning, and today I want to show you a new way to talk about long division. This is something I came up with myself as I've been tutoring some students who have really struggled with the concept of long division. Not the concept necessarily, but the procedure, because there's so many steps, right? So let's go over how we normally do long division. If we do 936 divided by 4, we say 4 goes into 9 twice, and then 2 times 4 is 8, and then we subtract. And then we bring down the next number. And then we repeat that cycle, right? How many times does 4 go into 13? 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract. Bring down the next number. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Maybe you're familiar with that. Maybe you're comfortable with that. But I work with a lot of students who have a really hard time getting this down because there are so many steps and they can't keep track of what step we're on and what step comes next. And sometimes I write it out here. I say, well, we're going to divide. And then we're going to multiply. Sorry for the bad handwriting. And then we're going to subtract. And then we're going to bring down the next number. Bring down. And then we're going to repeat. So there's just so many steps that we're going over and over again. I have to write this out for them, but then sometimes they forget what that means. And like, am I doing this number divided by this number? Or am I doing this, the next number over there divided by that? Like they get so confused on all of this, right? So I just developed a new method to talk to them about long division. And I was like, well, what are we doing when we are doing that multiplication and the subtraction? What we're doing is we're just finding a remainder for a division problem. So I backed up and I taught my students, what do we do when we just have a division problem with a remainder? So we take a couple classes and really drill them on this. Come up with any division problem where it's not an even answer, like it's not going to go in evenly, you're going to have a remainder. So we get really comfortable with this idea that division sometimes has a remainder. 13 divided by 4 is 3, remainder 1. 11 divided by 5 is 2, remainder 1. And if they're having a hard time conceptualizing this, we can draw a picture, right? Like we can say, I have 11 sticks, and I'm going to put them into groups of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll do tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 sticks. And there. So this is 11 divided by 5. I can see that I have 2 groups of 5 with a remainder of 1 stick. So then if we need to go over this with pictures and really help show them that I have a remainder here, there's 1 left over that does not fit into a group. Or another way to demonstrate this is we go 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then bring up that first number, 5 divided by 2. Well, I still have the same 2, except for now I have an extra. Now bring up that first number again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Bring it up to 7. 7 divided by 2. I still have that 3, but now I have an extra. Bring it up to 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And so on and so on. You could do the same thing with 3s. 6 divided by 3 is 2. But if I raise it to 7, 7 divided by 3, I have that same 2, but now there's a remainder of 1. 8 divided by 3, I still have 2 groups, but now I have a remainder of 2. So I'll just go in order here, bringing this number up one at a time and showing them how I have one more stick and then another stick. And then once I get to 2 remainder 3, that actually becomes 3, right? 9 divided by 3 is 3. So I'm just demonstrating this one step at a time until you get really comfortable with the idea of division and remainders. Now, once we're comfortable with division and remainders, let's go back to our problem. We had 936 divided by 4. 9 divided by 4. What is that if I'm just thinking of division and remainders? That's going to be 2 remainder 1, right? So we put the 2 on top and the remainder on the bottom. And then we have to combine that remainder with our next number because we want to go 3 divided by 4, except for it has to get combined with the remainder. So it's actually 13 divided by 4. So now what's 13 divided by 4? And think in terms of division with remainders. That's a 3 remainder 1. So put the 3 on top and the remainder on the bottom. and then bring down the next number. We're going to combine the remainder with the next number. And it's 16 divided by 4 is 4. So the advantage here is they don't have so many steps to keep track of. And then secondly, they can conceptualize it better. We're actually talking about why are you doing all these steps? Why are you combining a previous number with the next number you're bringing down? Because it's a remainder. So now they understand more what you're actually doing. And then thirdly, you don't have such a mess down here. You only have a couple numbers. It doesn't end up being this long thing full of subtraction problems. And that gets out of control. It just takes up so much space and it's just overwhelming. It's visually overwhelming for anyone who has sensory issues. And then it's mentally, cognitively overwhelming for anyone trying to keep track of all these steps. It's just too many steps. Okay, so let's do a few more examples of this. 441 divided by 3. So we just say, what is 4 divided by 3? And I'm writing it down here to show you that they already know this. We've already established this skill. 4 divided by 3 is 1, remainder 1. So we do our 1 at the top and then a remainder at the bottom. Then we bring down the next number. Now we have 14 divided by 3. What is 14 divided by 3? 3 times 4 is 12, so I know it's going to be a 4 with a remainder of 2. And bring down the next number. Now what's 21 divided by 3? 7. That'll go in evenly. Our answer is 147. Okay, let's do 825 divided by 5. What's 8 divided by 5? 1, remainder 3. Bring down the 2. What's 32 divided by 5? And I keep putting it this way as well. This number divided by this number. The normal way or the typical way that the rest of us grew up learning is we would go like, how many times does 5 go into 32? But I had a student who couldn't understand that either. Like she couldn't, what do you mean go into 32? Like that phraseology just wasn't resonating with her brain, right? So once I established that we do division with remainders, 32 divided by 5 is 6, remainder 2. They're used to this. They know this language. They can just stick with that and keep saying divided by. We don't have to say goes into if they're not understanding what that means, right? So 32 divided by 5 is 6, remainder 2. And then bring down the 5. What's 25 divided by 5? 5. And that's our answer. Okay, a couple more. Let's do 716 divided by 4. Okay, we start at the beginning. What is 7 divided by 4? 1, remainder 3. Bring down the next number. What is 31 divided by 4? 4 times 7 is 28. We'll have a remainder of 3. Bring down the next number. What is 36 divided by 4? 9. So our answer is 179. Nice, cut and dry, easy. We didn't take so many different rows of paper to try to get that out. 831 divided by 3. 8 divided by 3 is 2, but we're going to have a remainder of 2. Bring down the 3. 23 divided by 3 is 7 with a remainder of 2. Bring down the 1. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, so if your child is struggling with a typical long division, if they say there's too many steps and they don't know what order to do them in, if it's really hard for them to get that down, get the process down, and remember how to do it, then you might want to take this approach instead. Just take a couple weeks or get really comfortable with just the idea with division with remainders, not long division, but just a simple thing like 11 divided by 5 is 2, remainder 1. Get them really comfortable with that concept that you can have. Sometimes you have a division problem where the answer isn't a cut and dry clean answer. You might have a remainder and just lots of practice with that concept. And then you take them to the long division doing this method where all you're asking is what's the division problem? What's the remainder? You put the answer on the top, the remainder on the bottom, and bring down the next number. And then it's a lot more cut and dry. There's not as many steps to remember. If you want any help with math, I tutor math through the summer and in the school year. And I also have some math classes. Now, some students, when I start to work with them, I'll get a feel for, do they need one-on-one help or can they handle being in a math class? Some students do really great in the math class, part of it is the online format where they might be easily distracted, especially if they're not speaking directly to me. Like if I'm not talking to them, if they're not giving me their own answer, then a group class might not work for them. If they really need that one-on-one interaction, then they need the tutoring. So talk to me about that. I provide both. We'll talk about the options if a math class would work or if they should be in tutoring. And then the tutoring just follows their own pace. We identify the skills that they need more help with and put more attention on those. And we use books, but then if they need more practice on a skill that's not in their book, then we go to other resources and we just keep working that. It's totally tailored to just to their unique needs. So talk to me at lucialearning.com, or you can email me at lucialearningonline@gmail.com. Thanks a lot.